Welcome to Blood Sugar Blueprint, the podcast where aging gracefully doesn't mean shrinking into a recliner. Nope, we're here to keep you walking tall, feeling strong, and eating like a champion. So, if you're over 60 and your legs have started to feel a little more like linguine than lumber, you're in the right place. Quick moment before we flex our way into this topic. If your muscles are still strong enough to lift your finger, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. We've got plenty more episodes that'll keep you healthy, laughing, and maybe even walking upstairs without wincing. And here's one for the comments section. What's something you used to lift with ease that now makes you consider calling for backup? Bonus points if it's something ridiculous, like a bag of frozen peas or your grandkid's backpack. We've all been there. Now, let's talk about something a lot of people don't realize is happening. Muscle loss after 60. There's a fancy name for it, sarcopenia. Sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, right? But it's very real, and it starts quietly. You go from opening pickle jars like a champ to suddenly needing help twisting the cap off your toothpaste. Your legs feel wobbly, your balance is off, chairs seem lower than they used to be, and stairs? Let's just say the second floor isn't getting as many visits. Sarcopenia affects nearly 1 in 3 adults over 60, and it's not just about losing strength, it's about losing independence. Muscle is what keeps us upright, steady, and capable. It's not just for athletes or bodybuilders, it's for people who want to get up from the toilet unassisted. Yeah, we're going there. The problem is that many seniors chalk this muscle loss up to just getting old, like it's some unchangeable law of the universe. But here's the twist, it's not. It's not inevitable. And better yet, you can do something about it today. And no, I'm not talking about buying a home gym or doing push-ups while holding your cat. We're starting with something much simpler and much tastier, your food. Stick with us, because in the next section, we're going to break down exactly why your muscles are quietly packing their bags after 60 and how one overlooked nutrient could help you hold on to every ounce of strength you've got. So what actually causes muscle loss as we age? Is it just bad luck? Gravity? That one summer you lived off instant noodles and Kool-Aid? Not quite. The real culprit is a sneaky mix of biology, lifestyle, and, brace yourself, time. As we age, our body naturally starts producing less of the hormones that support muscle growth. Testosterone, human growth hormone, even insulin sensitivity, they all start to dip in your 50s and beyond. And when those levels drop, your muscles don't get the signals they need to stay big, strong, and useful. Now pair that with less physical activity, maybe due to joint pain, a past injury, or just being tired, and you've got a recipe for what doctors call age-related sarcopenia. You might not even notice it at first, a little extra effort to get up off the couch. Maybe you stop carrying the laundry basket upstairs and start dragging it. These small shifts snowball until suddenly your balance is off, your stamina is down, and your favorite chair starts looking like a dangerous trap. But here's the part nobody tells you. Diet plays a massive role. As we age, not only do our muscles need more support, but our ability to absorb and use nutrients actually declines. That means even if you're eating the same meals you always have, your body might not be getting the muscle-building fuel it needs. And guess what's at the top of that fuel list? Protein. It's the building block of every muscle fiber in your body. Without enough of it, especially the right kinds, your muscles don't grow. In fact, they shrink. Slowly, quietly, relentlessly. But here's the good news. Muscle is incredibly responsive. Even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, your body can still build and maintain muscle if you give it the right tools. And unlike your 20s, you don't need to bench press a truck. You just need to eat smarter and move more intentionally.
We actually heard about this one man, 72 years old, who hadn't touched a weight in decades. All he did was add a bit more protein to breakfast and start walking every evening. After just 10 weeks, he said his legs stopped wobbling on stairs, and he could carry groceries without pausing halfway up the driveway like he was scaling Everest. No gym, no supplements, no fancy powders, just food and consistency. All right, so we've talked about protein being the foundation for strong muscles. But here's where things get a little more specific. Because not all protein is created equal, and when it comes to aging muscles, one particular amino acid tends to do the heavy lifting. Literally. Enter leucine. No, it's not a medieval knight or a Scandinavian DJ. It's an essential amino acid, and it's absolutely crucial if you want to prevent muscle loss after 60. Leucine is kind of like the foreman at a construction site. It tells your body, hey, we've got the materials. Let's start building some muscle. Without it, your protein just sort of hangs around with no direction. You might be eating plenty of meat, eggs, or beans, but if your diet's low in leucine, your muscles may not be getting the memo to rebuild. The problem? Most seniors aren't getting enough. Even if they're eating protein at dinner, they're skipping it at breakfast. Or they're not eating enough protein per meal to hit that leucine threshold that activates muscle repair. That threshold, by the way, is about 2.5 grams of leucine per meal, which typically means you need around 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein to really spark muscle synthesis. So where can you get it? Great question. And no, the answer isn't start chugging raw eggs like Rocky. You'll find leucine in animal proteins like chicken, turkey, eggs, tuna, salmon, and Greek yogurt. Dairy is a particularly great source, especially whey protein. Plant-based sources can work too, but you'll need larger amounts. Soybeans, lentils, peanuts, and pumpkin seeds all have decent leucine, but again, you've got to eat enough to hit that magic number. And before anyone says, "I'm not really a breakfast person," let me ask, if skipping breakfast means your muscles waste away faster, are you still okay with just coffee and toast? Let's maybe reconsider that morning routine, yeah? Here's an idea. Make a protein-packed smoothie with Greek yogurt, peanut butter, and a scoop of whey. It's easy, fast, and delicious. Or do some scrambled eggs with spinach and cheese. Boom, leucine bomb. And your muscles will thank you. Still not convinced this stuff works? We know of one woman, 66 years old, who started focusing on hitting her leucine goals every day. Within 2 months, she went from struggling with her garden tools to actually hauling bags of soil like it was no big deal. Her son joked she was turning into a one-woman landscaping crew, all because she finally gave her muscles the signal they were waiting for. So now that we know leucine is the secret sauce to keeping your muscles strong, the next step is figuring out how to actually get it onto your plate, without turning every meal into a science experiment or chewing through a whole rotisserie chicken like a caveman. Here's the deal. You don't need to overhaul your diet. You just need to be intentional. A lot of seniors make the mistake of saving their protein for one big dinner, maybe some chicken or a pork chop and a veggie on the side. The issue? Your muscles can only absorb so much protein at once. If you dump 60 grams of protein on your plate at 6 p.m., but skipped it earlier in the day, your body wastes the excess and your muscles miss out. The trick is to spread it out. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein at every meal. Not to sound dramatic, but that little shift could be the difference between shuffling across the kitchen and dancing down the hallway with your dog. Let's talk options. At breakfast, Greek yogurt is a superstar, not the fruity kind packed with sugar. Go plain and sweeten it yourself with berries or cinnamon. 2 eggs and a slice of whole grain toast with nut butter. That's a muscle-preserving masterpiece. Sprinkle some hemp seeds on top for bonus points. Lunch doesn't have to be fancy. A tuna salad on whole wheat bread or even a protein-packed soup with lentils or beans will do the trick. Add some veggies, and you've got a well-rounded, muscle-friendly midday fuel-up. Dinner? This is your time to shine. Grilled salmon, turkey meatballs, stir-fry with tofu and quinoa, take your pick. Just remember, it's not about eating like a bodybuilder. It's about giving your muscles a consistent flow of what they need to stay alive, active, and strong. And don't forget snacks. A handful of almonds, a boiled egg, or a string cheese can help you sneak in that extra bit of protein without feeling like you're force-feeding yourself. It's like setting little traps for your muscles to stay awake throughout the day. The beauty of all this? You're not dieting. You're not cutting out entire food groups. You're simply supporting your body in doing what it already wants to do, keep you upright, mobile, and living life on your terms. It's not about getting bulky. It's about being able to carry your own groceries, lift a suitcase, or get out of a car without needing a minute to recover. Let your food help you do that. Quietly, powerfully, every single day. Now let's address the elephant in the room, or maybe the missing elephant. What if you just don't feel like eating that much? We hear this all the time from older adults. I'm not as hungry as I used to be, or I can't eat that much at once. And hey, that's totally valid. Appetite naturally declines with age. Plus, medications, dental issues, slower digestion, they all play a role. But here's the frustrating irony. Just when your muscles need the most support, your desire to eat kind of hits the brakes. That's why how you eat is just as important as what you eat. First, start early. Most people wake up dehydrated and underfueled, but the ones who age the strongest? They've made breakfast their anchor. We're not talking donuts or dry toast. Think smoothies, overnight oats with protein powder, scrambled eggs with veggies, something that's easy to chew, digest, and pack with protein. Even sipping on a warm bone broth in the morning helps stimulate the stomach and gets things moving. Second, go for nutrient density. That's a fancy way of saying make every bite count. If your appetite's small, don't waste it on empty calories. Swap white bread for sprouted grain. Choose full-fat Greek yogurt over the watery stuff. Add avocado to your sandwich. Sprinkle chia seeds in your oatmeal. Every little bit adds up, and these swaps deliver more protein, fiber, and healthy fat without forcing you to eat a mountain of food. Third, consider mini-meals. You don't have to stick to breakfast, lunch, dinner like it's written in stone. Maybe you do 4 or 5 small meals spaced out over the day. Maybe lunch is a bowl of lentil soup and a boiled egg, and 2 hours later you follow up with some cottage cheese and fruit. Keep it light, but keep it steady. That consistency sends your body a signal. We're not starving. We're building. And lastly, don't go it alone. If you live with someone, eat together. If you live solo, call a friend during lunch. Studies show that people eat better when it's social, even if it's just a little phone call while munching. Eating to keep your muscles strong doesn't mean stuffing yourself full of steak 3 times a day. It means eating smarter. It means turning your meals into moments of intention. And when you do that, even with a smaller appetite, you give your body the fuel it needs to keep up with your life, your hobbies, your people. Because let's face it, the goal here isn't just to survive, it's to thrive. Okay, let's talk movement. Because while food is the spark, exercise is the oxygen that keeps your muscle fire burning. Think of them as the ultimate tag team. One feeds the muscle, the other tells it what to do. And together, they help you stay strong, stable, and upright for the long haul. Now, before you panic, no, we're not asking you to join CrossFit or deadlift your neighbor's car. We're talking simple, doable, consistent movement. Even bodyweight exercises like wall push-ups, seated leg lifts, or standing calf raises while brushing your teeth are enough to trigger your muscles to wake up and say, "Oh, we're still in business." You see, when you stop using your muscles, your body assumes you don't need them anymore. It's like leaving your tools outside in the rain. They start to rust and fade. But the moment you start applying even a little pressure, some light walking, lifting groceries with intention, stretching, your muscles go, "Wait, we're needed." And they respond. Even at 70, 80, or beyond. Let's say you're just starting out. The first step isn't a gym membership, it's a commitment. A 10-minute walk every day. A few air squats holding onto the back of a chair. You can build from there. In fact, resistance bands are one of the best low-impact tools for muscle maintenance, and they're cheap, portable, and totally senior-friendly. Now here's where it gets fun. When you combine protein and movement, the magic really happens. Studies show that eating protein-rich meals right after light resistance training leads to greater muscle retention than either one on its own. So if you've just done some stretches or walked around the block, go ahead and enjoy that Greek yogurt or protein-packed smoothie. It's not just a snack, it's recovery fuel. And don't underestimate the mental benefits. One senior we heard about, an 81-year-old widower, started a habit of doing gentle morning stretches while listening to jazz. It became a kind of moving meditation. Within a few weeks, he said his joints didn't ache as much, and he actually looked forward to those slow movements because they made the rest of the day easier. Getting out of bed wasn't such a chore. The floor didn't seem so far away. Bottom line? Muscle loss may be common with age, but it's not your fate. When you pair smart eating with smart movement, you're giving your body exactly what it needs to stay strong on your terms. No gimmicks, no fads, just the basics, done consistently. Let's wrap this up with a truth that deserves a spotlight. Being strong isn't about looking like a fitness model or winning an arm wrestling match at the county fair. It's about being able to carry your own groceries, stand up from the couch without bracing yourself like you're about to launch into orbit, and walk through life with confidence, not fear. We know aging comes with challenges. Muscle loss, balance issues, fatigue. It's all real. But what's also real is your body's incredible ability to respond. It's never too late to fight back. In fact, it's not even that much of a fight. It's more like giving your body a nudge and saying, hey, I've still got plans for us. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to count every gram of protein or break a sweat 7 days a week. You just need consistency. A few good meals each day. A few movements your body enjoys. A mindset that says, I'm not done yet. If you're over 60, this matters more than ever. Your muscles are your independence. They're your balance, your strength, your freedom. Lose them, and the world starts to shrink. But build them, even a little, and suddenly everything feels possible again. So here's your mission. Tomorrow morning, eat a protein-packed breakfast. Later, go for a walk. Doesn't matter how far, just move. At lunch, swap that white bread for something whole grain and toss in a handful of almonds. Stretch your legs. Lift your arms above your head a few times. These aren't just habits, they're declarations. They say, I still care about this body and I'm still going to use it. Before we close out, if this episode helped you feel a little more in control of your health, do us a favor. Subscribe to the podcast so we can keep showing up in your life with real, useful tips that actually make a difference. And here's one more thing. Leave a comment and tell us, what's one thing your body used to do effortlessly that you'd love to get back? It could be climbing stairs, carrying grandkids, or even just standing for longer than 10 minutes. We'll be reading everyone and cheering you on every step of the way. Because at Blood Sugar Blueprint, we believe strength isn't something you lose with age. It's something you rediscover with a little knowledge, a little support, and a whole lot of heart.